This is Spinal Tap tells the story of, well, Spinal Tap, a fictional heavy metal band consisting of David, played by Michael McKean, aka look at him with short hair and it's that dude who's in everything but you never really learn his name, Nigel, played by Christopher Guest, and Derek, played by Mr. Burns himself, Harry Shearer.
Excellent.
And hey, Billy Crystal played a mime in one scene.
Excuse me, is this a joke?
The film is told in the style of a mockumentary being filmed by Marty DeBurgi, played by the actual film's director Rob Reiner, as he follows them around on their tour of America, witnessing the good and bad sides to the music industry while spoofing every popular rock band known to man as hilarious hijinks ensue.
This is a fan.
The original idea for the film dates as far back as 1978, when the four lead actors wrote and starred in a TV pilot for a comedy sketch show called, quite creatively, The TV Show, which featured a fictional band called Spinal Tap. During production of said pilot, McKean and Guest would often improvise in character, eventually resulting in the characters of David and Nigel, and this is what gave them the idea to produce a film about a fictional band. Reiner managed to get $60,000 from Marble Arch Productions to write a screenplay with McKean, Guest and Shearer based on the Spinal Tap characters. They decided to shoot a short demo that could be shown to studios in the hope they would give them the money they needed to make a film. They sent the demo around to various studios, eventually attracting the attention of producer Norman Lear, who decided to back the project, raising the film's budget to $2 million.
You're welcome.
However, just a few days into production, the filmmakers realised that no script would actually be able to capture the kind of movie they wanted to make, and instead chose to film without one. Every line of dialogue in the movie is completely improvised. Before each scene, the actors would be given outlines indicating where it would begin and end, as well as any character information necessary to avoid contradictions, but the rest was up to them. Outside of these short outlines, there isn't a single scripted line in the entire film.
Christ.
In fact, the improvisation was so extensive that Reiner tried to get the entire cast to be credited on the screenplay. But the Writers Guild of America immediately refused this idea, only allowing Reiner, Shearer, McKean and Guest to be credited. It's estimated that over 100 hours of footage was shot, and it was so difficult to cut down, production ended up hiring 3 editors to slice it down to a sizable length. In addition, the actors were all competent musicians in real life, so it's actually them playing the instruments both in the film and on the soundtrack.
I don't believe it!
So after an endless amount of improvising and editing, This Is Spinal Tap was finally released on March the 2nd, 1984, to nothing short of universal acclaim.
This is the truth.
However, despite the positive reviews, the film wasn't hugely successful at first, only grossing $4.7 million during its theatrical run. It wasn't until the film was released on VHS that it started to become a huge phenomenon. However, many moviegoers at the time found the film so convincing that they believed they were watching a real documentary about real-life musicians. After the movie opened in cinemas, Rob Reiner said that many people would come up to him on the street saying that they loved the film, but he should have picked a more well-known band to make a documentary on.
It's my fault.
The movie was also highly praised throughout the music industry. Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, Guns N' Roses and Black Sabbath all called it an accurate representation of the music industry. Legendary grunge band Nirvana called it the only rock movie worth watching. It's one of Paul McCartney's favourite films. Metallica co-founder Lars Ulrich stated that the movie inspired their 5th studio album, and U2 guitarist The Edge, not that one,
We don't have time for that.
stated that he not only thought the movie was great, but actually believed it was depressingly reflective of the state of the music industry. I didn't laugh, I wept. It perfectly summed up what a brainless swamp big label rock music had become. However, Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler was one of the few musicians who hated the film, as he felt that it was mocking the struggle that musicians go through to make it in the industry. The movie bummed me out because I thought, how dare they? That's all real and they're mocking it.
It's just a problem, you know?
In fact, the film became so influential that the movie's title is now often used as an insult among musicians to describe pretentious bands, often being told that they were funnier than Spinal Tap. The Writers Guild of America ranked it as the 11th funniest screenplay ever written. And the movie has garnered a huge cult following that remains strong to this day. Well, let's just see if this rock classic still holds up.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Marty DeBurgi. I'm a filmmaker.
Okay.
I make a lot of commercials. That little dog that chases the covered wagon underneath the sink, that was mine.
Cool.
But that night, I heard a band that for me redefined the word rock and roll.
Okay, so first off, I can easily see why so many people believe this is a real documentary about a real band. Because I was one of them. It does look and sound completely genuine and real. And the music is kick-ass!
I understand, Nigel, you and David originally started the band back in, when was it, 1964?
Well, before that, we were in different groups. I was in a group called The Creatures, which was a skiffle group.
I was in Lovely Lads.
Okay, I'm sorry, that is a terrible name for a rock band. Yeah, we're the Lovely Lads! Rock out, fellas!
Your first drummer was,
The Beeper.
John Stumpy Pepys.
Oh, yeah.
Great, tall, blonde geek with glasses.
Good drummer.
Great look, good drummer,
Good
yeah,
drummer.
fine
What
drummer.
happened to him?
He died.
I'm sorry. Also, I never knew John Carpenter used to be in a band.
I see. Then I'll just have to attack you!
Sam, come over here, everybody.
God, they even got Fran Drescher in this? How does she not rip out her own voice box whenever she's finished filming?
My baby fits me like a flesh tuxedo. I like to sink her with my pink torpedo.
Okay, that is a great lyric. The music in this movie is awesome.
Big bottom, talk about mud flaps. My girl's got 'em.
Why is he bragging that his girl's got mud flaps? That sounds gross. It is endearing how they listen to negative reviews of their work, but just laugh it off and don't let it bother them because they love it so much.
No,
You don't find that sexist?
This is 1982,
That's
Bobby.
right,
Come
it's
on.
1982. Get out of the 60s. We don't have this mentality anymore.
Oh, you're still the 80s. You've still got at least 30 years before you have to be a sensitive b****.
I don't understand how it's like.
this though. I mean, you
Well, no, then it's half the size.
bread. No, you can fold the meat.
Yeah, but then it breaks apart like
You
this.
put it on the bread like this, see?
But then if you keep folding it, it keeps
Why would
breaking,
you keep
and then
folding it?
everything has to be folded.
A rock star is arguing about how to hold bread. I don't even care how long it goes on for, it's hilarious. And the guitarist gets stuck during his rock out mode. Alright, this is brilliant. And the fact that it's all improvised makes me love it even more. This is the power of rock.
Listen.
How much is
Just
this?
listen for a minute. The sustain, listen to it.
I'm not hearing anything.
You would, though, if it were playing.
What?
Oh, this is special too. It's look, see? Still got the old tagger on it. See, never even played it. See?
You just bought it?
Don't
and-
touch it.
Well,
Don't touch it.
I wasn't gonna touch it.
No, don't touch it.
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point even.
Don't
It
even
can't
point?
be- no, it can't be played. Never. I mean,
Can I look at it?
No.
Okay, I love the comedy in this.
You see, most blokes, be playing at 10. You're on 10 here, all the way up, all the way up,
Yeah.
all the way up. You're on 10 on your guitar. Where can you go from there? Where?
I don't know.
Nowhere, exactly. What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. One louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
The straight-faced humour and the comedic timing is brilliant, and I am so glad they made it a mockumentary, not a proper film. I think it works so much better.
To be quite frank with you, it's come in useful in a couple of situations. Certainly in the topsy-turvy world of heavy rock, having a good solid piece of wood in your hand is quite often useful.
I beg your pardon?
We got to Memphis and there's no gig in Memphis, and we find out this promoter in the Midwest has pulled out St. Louis and Kansas City and Des Moines. I don't know, it's in Indiana or something.
It's in Iowa.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I have no idea. You might have to take a plane to New York and then go to Milwaukee from there.
Do you know how far Milwaukee is from New York? I mean, I get the joke. British people are ignorant when it comes to American geography, but isn't it the other way around? They even visit the grave of the overrated Elvis Presley. That's right, I said it. Freddie Mercury was way better. Come at me.
Well, since my baby... The same key, though, I think. Well, since my baby left me...
If I'm going, since my baby
left me.
me.
No, you can't hit that note.
Calm down, lad. You're only singing to a grave. Reminds me of them people, who you hear in public singing happy birthdays, but they actually give it their all. They're like proper belting it out. They're like they're in a recording booth. You're singing Happy Birthday, Karen, chill out.
Now, during the Flower People period, who was your drummer?
Stumpy's replacement, Peter James Bond, he also died in mysterious circumstances.
Jesus Christ, are their drummers the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher at Hogwarts? They seem to be cursed. Well, actually, now that I mention it, J.K. Rowling actually stated that this film influenced her book series and claimed that the band's revolving doors of drummers did inspire the plot point in the Potter series in which the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher would be replaced each year due to an unfortunate accident. Huh. But J.K. Rowling, no one cares about her.
Not really, no.
Okay, that is a badass way to start a concert. But then one of them gets stuck inside. The music is awesome as they try to frantically bust him out during the song. They even use a blowtorch. And he only gets out right at the end when it's time to leave again.
Given the history of Spinal Tap drummers in the past, do you have any fears for your life?
I would, that. But wow, just look at these video game graphics. This has aged magnificently. Okay, this is funny how he keeps having to go back, and the joke is that his cock is made of metal.
I don't need a woman, I won't take me no wife. I got the rock and roll and that'll be my life.
I mean, it's a cool song, but he's literally the only one there with a girlfriend. He is lying to his audience.
And oh, what's going on here? Hi.
Oh,
Hi, guys. Artie Puffkin, Polymer Records. Nice to see you. And where is David?
Okay, I can clarify right now from first-hand experience that people are not that accepting when you decide to just randomly film them. Nope.
I up the timing. That's all I up the timing. I got no timing. I got no timing. You know what I want you to do? Will you do something for me? What? Do me a favor. Just kick my ass, okay?
We don't have to. The movie kicks enough ass as it is. I love the film, but a lot of the time I'm just thinking, man, rock stars used to dress ridiculous in the 80s. This is hilarious though. So they're trying to find the stage and ask this maintenance guy for directions. Then they are ready and set. Off they go to the stage.
You must have made a wrong time.
We gotta go another way. Other way.
That is hilarious. And the funniest thing is, it was inspired by a real event. Rock legend Tom Petty once actually got lost at a gig in Germany looking for the stage and ended up in an indoor tennis court. This really happened. Furthermore, David has a girlfriend called Jeanette who keeps interfering with the band, causing problems with the other members. I can only assume this is a reference to Yoko destroying one of the greatest bands in history.
Have you any idea what it will cost to dress up the band as animals?
Oh, Doug.
You put them in giant-ass mechanical pods!
Stonehenge. Stonehenge. It's the best production value we've ever had on stage.
But we haven't got the equipment.
But you're able to look like animals? Man, this guitar solo is amazing. But why is he topless?
No one knows who they were or what they were doing. But their legacy remains, hewn into the living rock of Stonehenge.
It's henge! There is an H there! Alright? I promise, not all Brits are incapable of pronouncing their H's.
Stonehenge, where the demons dwell, where the banshees live and they do live well.
Oh
Stonehenge,
yeah, this band!
and you, my love.
Why is he topless?
And oh, how they danced, the little children of Stonehenge.
It's henge! Stone! Henge! But they get all the measurements wrong and the world's smallest Stonehenge Henge model comes out. Okay, this is hilarious. And then some midgets show up, which is even funnier.
I do not for one think that the problem was that the band was down. I think that the problem may have been that there was a Stonehenge.
It's henge!
What Dave is trying to say, if you'd let him get a word through, is you could maybe do with some help.
Oh, shut up, Yoko. You weren't part of this band. Off.
You weren't part of this group?
I
suggesting...
offering
Wait.
to help out.
No,
here.
you're not offering to help out. You're offering to co-manage the band with me. Is that it?
Yes.
Let's get it
In
straight.
so many words, that is exactly it.
Well, I'm
Yourself.
certainly not going to co-manage with some girl
You-
just because she's your girlfriend.
Don't call her my
All right, she's not your
girlfriend,
girlfriend.
is
I don't
it?
know.
Well, yes! The else are you?
Can I raise a practical question at this point? Are we going to do Stonehenge tomorrow?
Henge!
No, we're not gonna do Stonehenge.
It's Henge! There's a giant H! What do you think that's for?
Can't concentrate because your wife. Simple as that, all right? It's your wife.
She's not my wife.
So what the is she? She isn't your girlfriend. She isn't your wife. Why is she a giant mechanical Aunt Barbara?
Listen, I don't even got time to go to the hotel.
Hotel! There's another H! Why are you afraid of H's? Did an H kill your mother?
I would like to get the playing on about 1,900 hours, if that's satisfactory.
Where would that be?
I make it now, it's about 1,830 hours.
So that's what, 50 hours?
Well,
120 hours.
That's actually about 30 minutes.
What? I mean, I guess the joke is, haha, Brits don't know military time, but... Well, that's another lie. I've been to America, and everywhere I went, nobody used a 24-hour clock. In the UK, everyone uses a 24-hour clock. It's everywhere. Yes, we know that 1700 is 5. We know that 2100 is 9. I went to America, I used it, no one knew what I was on about. Okay? Stop flipping the stereotypes, guys. We know military time. We know geography. It's America. Who doesn't? But oh no, mid-gig, Ian storms out and leaves the band.
Can you play, excuse me, Biff, can you play a bass line like Nigel used to on Big Bottom? Can you double that? You recall the line, it's in fifths.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got 2 hands here. I can do it.
Oh, so now the weird dude suddenly becomes a big deal and actually has lines. All right.
At the Luton Palace, we were talking about a rock musical based on the life of Jack the Ripper.
I want to see that. It's a shame to witness the rise and decline of the band over the course of the movie. They get success and a childhood friends, but then Jeanette gets involved and Ian leaves. The band starts to struggle and loses its shine. They're practically on their last legs here. But no, Ian shows up at the last gig of the tour. Somehow getting in backstage. Where the hell is security?
David, do a good show, all right?
Yeah, okay.
I was going to do a one, but since you asked so nicely. Why is he wearing a dress? Also, how the hell do they have a crowd this big? The last gig was to hardly anyone. It was clear their fame was diminishing, but now all of a sudden they've got a sold-out stadium? But it really is an awesome Goosebumps moment as he calls for Ian to come back on stage to perform, much to the chagrin of Janet. What the hell is a chagrin? Before they get another new drummer. Well, he's dead, and they become a huge hit in Japan. Hey, they made it! And then have some random clips over their credits. The movie is fantastic. The comedy is hilarious, but is a very accurate representation of the rock industry. The music is badass, the characters are engaging. It's a really interesting story, and it's a great movie for everyone to watch. Especially rockheads. Jesus Christ, are their drummers the Defense Against the Dark Arse? Defense Against the Dark Arse! That's going at the end.